Hello everyone, it is Ruby here, and in this video we are going to be talking about literally every roller coaster that I've ever ridden. That is right, I will be giving my thoughts on every roller coaster I've ridden in my life. This is going to be a long video, and yeah, there's really not much else to say. Let's just get into it. Air Grover, it's the first roller coaster that I have ever ridden, and I just don't have the heart to rewrite it as a full-grown adult. I was like 5 when I rode this, by the way. Sand Serpent. Wild Mouse roller coasters just beat me up. That's just all I gotta say. Just not really a fan of Wild Mouse roller coasters. Cobra's Curse. It's a cool concept done extremely well, especially when you ride it with a particularly big person being in the train, so you just spin around out of control as much as possible. Scorpion. It's the first inversion I ever experienced on a roller coaster, and honestly, I miss this ride. But I do understand why some didn't really like it, as it was pretty rough, and it was pretty aggressive too. I didn't mind. I miss it personally. Montu. This is the best inverted coaster ever. And I'm definitely not biased, because this is the only other invert I have ridden that was not a Batman clone. Kumba. This is my favorite ride built by B&M. So intense. It does that layout that a lot of floorless coasters have, but it just does it better than any of the other ones. It also, by far, does the best job with the interlocking corkscrews. I know it's rough, I know it does show its age, but in my opinion, it's just a perfect ride. For years, this was my favorite roller coaster at Busch Gardens, until one that'll be coming up in just a little bit. SheiKra. It's the only dive coaster I've ridden, and as much as a lot of people don't like dive coasters, kind of calling them gimmicks, I really do think this ride pulled the concept off really well. It's so beautiful and scenic looking, and that drop, it is a lot of fun, honestly. And yes, this ride did inspire the whole, SheiKra thing. Iron Gwazi. Wait, no, we're not there yet, my bad. Tigress. I mean, it's cool. It's got good hang time, but that's really all I have to say about it. Oh yeah, and also those cramped trains really suck. And now we're on Iron Gwazi. This is the best roller coaster that I've ever ridden, and there is some good competition out there. This ride has a phenomenal drop, it has amazing airtime, it's intense. In my opinion, this is literally just a perfect roller coaster. Phoenix Rising. I mean, I like the layout and I like the swooping turns, just this ride rattles so much. Cheetah Hunt. Honestly, I think in the 8 years that I've been riding roller coasters, I've literally only ridden this with the water turned on 3 times. Just an editor's note. I finished recording this entire video, and after I had finished recording it and writing the script and all that, I realized that I had forgot to include Cheetah Hunt. So, yeah, that sucked. Ready to Atlantis. This ride would be way better if it kept its original theme and storyline. I mean, other than that, it's still a fun and chill water coaster. Manta. This was my first real big roller coaster, and to this day I still love it. The pretzel loop still hits really hard even after riding Tatsu. And also, there was one time when I rode it and the water jets at the end actually got me. Does that happen often? Kraken. It's just Kumba, but without the intensity. Mako. It is hard to say, but this probably is my favorite B&M hypercoaster. It is pretty hard to rank the 3 that I've ridden, but I think this is probably my number 1 as it has the best airtime. Icebreaker. Honestly overhyped. This thing hurt my waist. And I have not ridden Pipeline and the other one. I forgot what the penguin one is called, honestly. Batman the Ride. It's okay. Nitro. Way too overhated. This ride is awesome. I love the drop, I love the airtime, I love the helix, I like the ending with the little bunny hills. I like this ride a lot. Also, I am probably the only person in the world that actually likes the color scheme. Skull Mountain. It really feels like they could actually take advantage of the fact that this ride is indoors, but no, it's just a roller coaster in the dark. Medusa. I really do miss the yellow and purple color scheme that this ride originally had. It's still a fun floorless coaster either way, though. El Toro. For 4 years, this was my favorite roller coaster, until Iron Gwazi dethroned it. And I have not ridden this thing since 2018, but from what I can recall, this ride was phenomenal. Great airtime, very intense. Batman the Dark Knight. I often forget this exists. Superman Ultimate Flight. It's okay. Green Lantern. My head was like a literal pinball on this ride. Just another editor's note. I thought I'd like to include that when I rode this ride for the first time, there was this dude screaming that was right behind me. Actually, no, he wasn't screaming. My bad. He was laughing. And his laugh sounded exactly like the laugh from the song Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. I did not ride King Ka, which I really regret. Thunder Mountain. This ride is just too classic for me to dislike, honestly. Space Mountain. The Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 recreations that people made back in like 2007 of this thing were freaking goated. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's just a worse Thunder Mountain. Expedition Everest. It honestly was more intense than I was expecting. Primeval Whirl. I'm honestly kind of surprised that Disney even had a ride like this. Rock and Roller Coaster. That launch does genuinely hit hard. I have not ridden Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy, or any... I have not even ridden the Slinky Dog Dash, actually. Twisted Cyclone. It is the first RMC that I have ever rode. Goliath. Definitely the most intense of the three B&M hypers that I have ridden. Mindbender. As far as like classic looping roller coasters get, I feel like this is pretty much as classic as you can get. Also, they did not need to rename this to have the Riddler's name in it. Daredevil Dive. I mean, it's got a good drop, but I honestly sometimes forget this ride exists. Great American Scream Machine. All right, come on, guys. This ride's not that bad. It's really fun. Like it's really just. I rode it before it was retracked, and I thought it was pretty good. Blue Hawk. Do Blue Hawks even exist in real life, or do they literally just have no idea what to call this thing? Georgia Scorcher. This is the underrated goat of Six Flags Over Georgia. Top 3 in the park. I'm sorry, I said it. The Dahlonega Mine Train. This ride literally feels like a death trap, yet it's just a mine train. There is a Batman and a There is a Batman and a Superman clone here, and I gotta say, the Batman clone, it's one of my least favorite roller coasters I have ever ridden. It literally felt like I was gonna pass out on that thing. The Superman clone it's Superman. The Cowboy Alpine Coaster at Snow King. Yes, I have ridden this. It's nice and all, but I once got stuck behind a mom and a kid that were going like 2 miles per hour on this thing. So yeah, that was fun. Mind Blower. This ride is amazing. Anyone that says it's rough, I'm sorry, just you're a wuss. The zero G roll on this thing is phenomenal. The airtime's great. I love this ride. White Lightning. The drop on this ride is actually surprisingly intense. I love the double up and double down too. Freedom Flyer. I just remembered this ride's existence upon literally writing the script. Air Force One. The ending of this ride is so intense that it's actually a little much for me at times. Like, it's fun, but at times it genuinely does hurt my legs. Also, this is the best ride in Georgia, which is insane because it's basically just at an arcade with a few other rides. That one Pinfari ride that was there that I don't even know the name of. I was fighting for my life on this thing. Thunder Dolphin. Great ride, but it literally had no airtime. Ajanica. This is the most intense roller coaster that I have ever ridden. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know, if you're over 55 years old, you can't even ride it. This ride was so intense, so insane. In my opinion, this is probably the most intense roller coaster in the entire world. I would be surprised if there's anything more intense than this. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're gonna ride this, it is not smooth. Do not listen to what the other enthusiasts say. This ride throws you around like a pinball. That being said, it's still a 10 out of 10 ride. Just be prepared for it to not be very smooth. Takabisha. Obviously, the drop in this thing is amazing, but to me, honestly, I really thought the inversions were the coolest part of the ride. The whole thing is great, though. Fujiyama was closed. Didn't get to do that one. Revolution. Honestly, the loop on this ride is just so charming and so classic to me. I really do like going through it at the end as well. Full Throttle. The loop on this ride in the back row it's an experience. That's all I'll say. It's truly an experience. Twisted Colossus. Honestly, even with this ride not racing like it was supposed to, it's still a phenomenal ride. It's my favorite ride in the park, personally. And honestly, I do think in terms of RMC hybrids, it's a bit underrated. I know a lot of people like it, but I've seen a lot of people also say, like, without it racing, it's just, like, not as good as it could be. I mean, yeah, fair point, but even then, I just think it's a great ride with phenomenal airtime. Riddler's Revenge. Honestly, this is tied with Georgia Scorcher for the best stand-up I've ridden, which isn't saying much considering that the only other I've ridden was Green Lantern. This ride is freaking awesome, though. It's the only other roller coaster that I've ridden where you see its loop going through the lift hill, which, of course, the other one is Kumba. Scream. It's just Medusa, but in the parking lot. Apocalypse. Wait, that is what this ride's called, right? Yeah, Apocalypse. Used to be called Terminator Salvation. The other underrated ride in the park, honestly. This ride was really intense and a lot of fun. I don't really have too much to say about it other than the fact that I just thought it was a really good ride. Ninja. The only roller coaster that I've ridden that ends with going up a lift hill. Tatsu. Definitely the most intense flying coaster that I've ridden. X2. Even after riding Agent Ica, this ride still felt insane. Definitely the most intense roller coaster in America that I've ridden. Also, honestly, people say how much rougher this ride is than Agent Ica. They're the same in my opinion. Superman: The Escape from Krypton. Honestly, underwhelming. West Coast Racers. I feel like this ride was built solely just because of how Twisted Colossus could never race properly. Wonder Woman. This ride feels like it is trying to kill you. Pretty fun ride, though, just the restraints on this ride do suck. Viper. I forgot to include it in the script, but yeah. I thought this ride would be really brutal and really rough. It was not that bad. It was pretty solid. Only rode it once, though. Goliath. I also forgot to include this in the script until literally right now. This part is fully unscripted. Yeah, it's a good ride. It gets way too much hate. I actually do enjoy the drop a lot, and a lot of the G-forces it pulls are genuinely really good. Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Listening to Humble on this ride went really hard. Also, seeing this as a backdrop for when I saw Foster the People in concert for the first time, it was really cool. I honestly am gonna miss this thing. Velocicoaster. This is the best roller coaster in Orlando. It's insane. The Hulk. It's like Kumba, but with a launch. Revenge of the Mummy. Honestly, the pyrotechnics and effects in this ride are freaking awesome. I really did enjoy this ride a lot, and the fake-out ending is pretty cool, too. There's a roller coaster that you guys are probably going to notice I forgot to include, but instead of talking about it, I'm just going to go ahead and say that trans rights are human rights. Did I just say Express? Express Platform 13. It's outdoor rock and roller coaster. Condor. This ride sucks. Speed of Sound. This ride also sucks. Untamed. Probably has the best inversions of any RMC that I've ridden, honestly. Goliath. It's the best Goliath that I have ridden. Also, King Gizzard rode this ride once. Lost Gravity. One of the weirdest but coolest roller coasters that I have been on. Thunderbolt. This ride sucks. Steeplechase. I've ridden this ride, but I genuinely, barely remember it. Oh yeah, Cyclone was closed. However, I went to New York City and saw King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard in concert that weekend, so I mean, that's basically a nothing burger. Primordial. Great concept, executed beautifully. Both times I rode it, I got a drop track ending, and I actually went into this ride blind, not knowing anything about it. And I actually somehow predicted that the track would drop. Riding this thing for the first time is genuinely insane. Jetstar 2. I think I remember this ride being kind of rough. I honestly barely remember what it was like. I was just kind of thinking to myself, oh hey, it's the Spiral Coaster from Roller Coaster Tycoon. Spider. Somehow I didn't get sick on this. Roller Coaster. The underrated goat of Lagoon, even with it pretty much having no name. Colossus the Fire Dragon. Riding this thing brought back memories of Scorpion, honestly. Low-key made me want to cry. Wicked. Honestly, a very solid ride, better than I was expecting. And Cannibal. The drop and hang time on this ride are genuinely insane. This ride is legit scary. That's it. That's it. We actually made it to the end of this. That was every roller coaster that I have ever ridden. At least as far as I can remember. There might be maybe one or two that I just simply forgot existed. But yeah, I think as far as I can remember, that's it. This was my first video that I put together for this channel, and hopefully there'll be more to come. This is Ruby signing off. I will be flocking back to my nest. I'm sorry, that was cringe. I'll see you guys in the next video. And oh, by the way, I literally am waking up at 7:30 to go to Busch Gardens, Tampa this morning, and it's 3 a.m. I'm cooked.